This is my comic pull list for April 13th, 2016. Starting off, it's Xena, Warrior Princess, issue number 1. Now, I was a big fan of the 90s television show, so I was excited to see that Dynamite was releasing a comic based on the series. The intro explains that both Xena and Gabrielle had been in an enchanted sleep for 25 years. Then there was a battle where most of the gods were killed. So I believe that means this story takes place somewhere between seasons 5 and 6. I haven't seen the show in like 15 years, so I'm a little sketchy on the exact details. So we start off with Xena and Gabby wandering the countryside, you know, as they do. They stumble across 2 lost girls and vow to help them get home. Along the way, they hear about terrible atrocities committed by the Harpies, but Xena decides that something more sinister may be afoot. This is an okay first issue, but it doesn't capture the charm and camp of the TV series. But I like the artwork, so I'll give it another couple issues to see if I want to stick with it or not. Next, it's Doctor Who, the 9th Doctor, issue number 1. When last we saw 9, he, Rose, and Captain Jack had just stopped a galactic temporal war between the Unon, and the Lect in last year's 5-part miniseries. I really enjoyed that, so I'm glad to see him back in this ongoing series by the same writer, Kevin Scott. You might wonder where the 9th Doctor can have all these adventures when he had presumably just regenerated before the first episode of the new series, and then he regenerates into the 10th Doctor in the last episode of the same season. Well, the writer of this series has cleverly wedged these new tales between the first season episodes The Doctor Dances, where the Doctor and Rose meet Jack in World War II era London, Are You My Mummy? And Boomtown, where they return to Earth, team up with Mickey to defeat Margaret Blaine, aka Blonfelfoch Pasamir de Slavine of Raxicorco Fallipatorius, twin planet of Clom. This is perfect placement because it's implied that quite some time has passed between these 2 episodes, during which the team has been on many adventures. So, in this first issue, the trio lands on an alien planet, only to be immediately recognized as characters from the planet's #1 TV program, called Doctor Who. This is a humorous first issue with an intriguing ending, and I'm looking forward to issue number 2, though I'm not a big fan of the alien race revealed at the end. Next, it's a Star Wars special C-3PO number 1. In this one-off issue, C-3PO is part of a mission during which his ship crashes, leaving himself and 5 other droids, one of which is a prisoner, as the only survivors. This band of mechanical misfits has to try and cross the inhospitable planet to complete their mission. Along the way, they get into lots of trouble, discuss mind wipes, and debate programming versus friendship. We also learn where 3PO got the red arm he sports in The Force Awakens, which actually is a much deeper and less humorous story than I was expecting. It's a good issue with some surprising insight. Next up, it's Star Wars, Darth Vader, issue number 19. So we're finally wrapping up this shoe-torn war story arc. I don't know why, but getting through it was like pulling teeth for me. I hope the next arc engages me more, or this title just may have to go. And finally, it's Constantine, the Hellblazer, issue number 11. Neuron's takeover of New York has caused a mass exodus of magical creatures, all headed for sunnier shores, aka LA. But even as John petitions the locals for asylum for this motley gang, old business from home pulls him back toward the Big Apple. While I thought this was another good issue story-wise, I'm really missing the quirkiness of Riley Rossmo's artwork. Sorry, Travel Foreman, you're a good artist, but on this title you just don't do it for me. Well, that's it for this week's pull. Don't forget to hit thumbs up and press that little subscribe button. And while you're at it, drop me a comment below and let me know what your favorite titles are. I just may check them out. See you guys later.